My name is Annette, my first ever YouTube video or Flosstube video. So I'll start by telling you a little bit about myself and my cross-stitching experience and history. I stitched and used needles for most of my life because my mom did all of that. She loved to sew and crochet and what have you. Well, in the 80s, my husband took me to a craft fair, one of my first ever that had ever been at in the early 80s. And there was a whole booth called Creative Circle. And it was the first time I'd ever been exposed to a multi-marketing experience. So I fell in love. Their parties were selling craft kits, stitchery kits. They did crewel and counted cross stitch and trapunto and anything you can imagine they did. And so I learned it all and learned it well enough to teach, and I started doing parties and selling kits, and I loved it. Well, fast forward to our family reorganizing our life, and we moved overseas for a few years. So of course I couldn't take that with me, but to do something, we started a little shop, and I started teaching counted cross stitch and started supplying the shop with floss and paints. Scribbles paints were very popular then, and I just rediscovered my love, or continued my love, of counted cross stitch and embroidery and crewel. I loved crewel work too. So I did that, and someone had brought me from the States a magazine called Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. Now this is it. I saved it because I loved this design. So I ordered some linen into the shop so I could sell it too, and Ada and what have you. So I started this particular pattern. It's called Gifts from the Sea, and I just love it. I still love it. Well, then we moved back. This was, well, it's dated January, February 92, and I started it shortly thereafter. We moved back in 1994. A lot of life went on. Things got packed up and sent back to the States in a crate. Didn't worry about it. Started our lives and did good until now, many moves later. I am in this bin trying to reorganize. And at the bottom of the bin was the cross stitch that I had started. And I thought, boy, I haven't cross stitched for years, but I still love this. Should I finish it? So I thought, yeah, I think I do want to finish it. So I pick it up and I'm trying to stitch up. The only thing that I had done was this shell right here. I'd started in this corner, so I had some blue and this shell and the start of this shell in the corner, in that corner, left corner. And I couldn't see it with my old eyes. I used my readers, I used thicker readers, and it was so stressful and so hard. And I thought, but I really want to do this. I know I can do this. So in the same bin, apparently I had bought this when we moved back and never used it, was this F.A. Edmond scroll frame. Now, I don't know if they still sell this style, but this style is designed to slide your work right into it on both ends and then roll it up. Well, I did that, but when I was tightening it, it would pull out. So I had this great idea. I would sew piping on the end, each end, and that would hold it in that scroll. So I did that, and then I rolled it up. Then I started worrying. I only had red piping and I sewed it on. Is the red going to rub off on my work? So I was thinking and thinking. And then as I'm working with this scroll and I'm doing just, 2 or 3 stitches every few minutes because I couldn't see it real good. So I've got every light on me focused, and I'm focused, and holding this big scroll up was very difficult for me, for this old lady with tired and sore arms. So I took it out of the scroll and thought, I am going to put it in a hoop. So I had this nice, well, actually had a bigger hoop, but it was too big. and bulky and didn't hold it tight. So then I got this little hoop and I thought, okay, this works. And I'm still with my big glasses on like this, trying to stitch. Couldn't do it. Then my girlfriend said, why don't you try magnifying glasses? And I said, oh, I saw those at a quilt show and they're so expensive. And she said, no, go to Amazon or go to this other company, Neat and Handy. So I did. And I got these really nice looking glasses with a light. And I can see, it's like I have young eyes again. And I just started stitching and I loved it. But then my hands started cramping holding the hoop. And I thought, oh my goodness, what's going to happen next? So I took it out and I started to sew in hand, but I didn't like all the bulky fabric because this is, you know, a nice size piece of fabric. I'm going to show you the picture in just a minute. So then I heard about, oh no, so then I've been watching Flosstube and I fell in love with Stitching Jewels and a few others that I can't remember the name, but then I looked at, her name is Handwork Maniac. And I really enjoyed hers, but her number 19 was on stands and lights and what have you. Well, I watched her and I thought, oh, a lap stand, how wonderful. But not only that, she had a hoop that looked like a pipe. And then she said, oh, that's her Q-snap. So I thought, well, maybe I need a Q-snap. So I ordered a Q-snap. This is an 8x8. They were out of stock of 11x11 in the place that it was on sale. I try to watch my pennies. So I got the 8x8, put it in, and it's wonderful. I love that part. That works really good for me. The other thing is she also, while she had her work with her needle minder, she had her chart on there, and then she's just looking at her chart. Well, I had been trying to look at a stand. This was another thing that was in my bin, was my old magnetic stand. It's rusty around the edges. Right now I'm using it for a quilt pattern on the wall back there. And so I was laying it down and I'd have to take those glasses off, put on my real glasses and look, okay, that's the real. And it was just very confusing. And so my girlfriend bought me this board holder. That is wonderful too. I really like that. But when I saw Handwork Maniac, I think her name is Brenda, with her chart there, all of these new little tips that I'd never seen before, never knew 30 years ago when I was teaching, I implemented, and then I was able to stitch, and it just has gone smooth like clockwork. And this is where I am now. So I was so pleased because it took me like a month to do these top two shells while I was in the middle of trying to figure out how to do this. But then now I'm able to do it, and I am just so happy. And I got an email from 123 Stitch that their 11x11s were in stock and on sale. So I ordered an 11x11 Q-snap. So I sit in my recliner, head leaning back, which is something that she had mentioned that, she had neck problems. Well, everyone has neck problems. So I can lean my head back. I have a lap tray, like a laptop tray. I put a pillow on it, and then I set this on it, and I kind of just really have to balance. I don't have to hold it tight to keep it in place. I just have to balance it, and I can do my stitching, and I love it. I just love it. So that is where I am now. But in the meantime, when I first started this, and I was having so much trouble, I thought maybe I need to work on something simple that's not on linen. This is on 28 count linen. And I don't even know why I remember that. Oh, because in the book, that's what it is. And I also, photocopied the graph, enlarged it, and that helped a lot too. So we were visiting friends in Vegas. Well, I actually went for the doctor. Oh, here it is. And so I bought this cute little simple pattern on 14 count Aida, this little graph, Time for Tea by Cottage Needleworks. And it's just real cute. And I did it on 14 count. I think it recommends doing it. It doesn't say right there, but I think it recommends doing it smaller. But I thought I've got to do something easy. And I finished it. I just have to stick it in its stretcher bars. But I changed the lavenders to pinks and burgundies. And I think that's the only change I made. I did backstitch around the base of the teacups because I thought they needed something. Other than that, it's just what the pattern said. So now I have ordered these from Amazon, 9x5 stretcher bars. I'm going to mount that and then just hang it with a ribbon from it. So I don't have to get a specialized frame because it was just a simple kit. And what helped me do that was, I'm not going to show the whole thing, but I took the graph and I blew it up, and that helped. Well, now that I have my magnifying glasses, I don't have to do an exaggerated graph. So that helped me to get back in the groove and get started. But also while I was at that shop, I bought this graph, which is so cute. It's called Spring by Filigram. And it's also on 14 count Aida. So I bought in the same shop this beautiful dyed Aida. And the color, Mediterranean Sea. The shop was called Stitcher's Paradise in Las Vegas, Nevada. And we don't live too far from there, that's why. We live near Salt Lake, so it's a 6-hour drive, and that's where my doctor is. That's why we go there. So I did though, I got those. I didn't start the spring yet, but that might be my next one. Then I thought, I was on a roll. So at Facebook Marketplace, there was a week of no shipping. So I started looking at kits and I bought this kit for just a few dollars. And isn't that cute? The Hydrangea Floral 4x8. I'm showing you all these projects, future and current, because I sure enjoy watching on Flosstube, all of you that put on your whip parades. I have enjoyed and gotten to know a little bit. I'm going to say her handle is e-craftingincolorado. She's just a new Flosstuber. She's done 7 of them, but I enjoy watching her things. And I've discovered maybe a full coverage is what I want to do at some time, because I enjoy the process of sitting in my chair and just cross stitching. The Rocking Stitcher, wow, she has done some fabulous HAEDs. She just finished books. Too many books. Can't remember the name. I'm so sorry, Rocking Stitcher. And like I mentioned, Stitching Jewels. There's just been so many others, and I really enjoy your whip parade. So that's why I'm showing you all these. So I also bought this on Facebook Marketplace. Now I'm not as wild about it. I love the colors. Aren't those pretty colors? It's called Majestic Peacock by Designworks. And it is just very pretty. It's a 10x12 counted cross stitch. Very pretty. I probably won't do that next. What I'd like to do next is the one I just ordered. I ordered it on Amazon because it was like $10 cheaper on Amazon. I saw it on eBay and I saved it. And I saw another one on eBay a few dollars cheaper and I saved that one. And I saw another one a few dollars cheaper and I saved that one. So I thought, well, let me look on Amazon. And it was like $8 cheaper than the cheapest one on eBay with free shipping. So it's called Uncle, no, not Uncle, I don't know what to saying Uncle, Buck County Produce Stand by Jan Lynn. It's a Jan Lynn kit. So I really kind of would like to do that, but we'll see. Also, okay, I told you about my glasses. Oh, and I got these nifty little things. Now I have used these before as thread huggers, but to hold your fabric on your hoop, really good. And I'm going to make myself a grind guard pretty soon. But let me show you my other embroidery that I have in progress and that I have recently finished. I recently finished this one. It's a dimensions kit, and I don't remember the name of it, but it's kind of a stitch by number, like all the white stitches and all the flowers. Some of the teacup are stitches that you add in, and that was fun to do. And I have another one like that. It's a Gallery Cruel, It's 16 by 14 and it's called Morning Tea. And this is a picture of it done, and I'll show you how much I have done on it. Might stick this on the scroll. I don't know, can you see that? But you can see the white places where I haven't done yet. I've done all these roses up at the top and some of the flowers in the vase. But I still have, the back is interesting. I still have more to go. That was fun doing the leaves and things. So that's one, if I put it on the scroll, maybe I'll pick it up more. But those are a couple that I have going. And then I had a cute little quilt one, and I do not know when or where I got it. It's called Nursery Quilt Blocks. And there's a little bit of a funny story. I've been stitching these along and posting them on Instagram. I'm Manette's Needles on Instagram. And aren't they cute? They're just kind of sweet little, oops, sorry. I did it in red work because I love red work. But they're cute little, like Sunbonnet Sue quilt blocks. But my story is, as I've been posting them, I was working on this little girl, and you can see they are in blue, and you stitch over it. You have to be careful not to wash it or iron it or something, because the blue will wash out and then you won't know where you're going. But on this little girl here, I had just done part of her, and I was so tickled to do these little flowers that I posted just a little, not the whole picture, but just this little bit of the picture. I got the funniest. They were funny and they were cute and they were meant in good humor, but not in an offensive way. But comments on that little girl. They could not figure out what I was stitching, and it did not look right. So I had to then show the whole picture so that they could see. It was the dress, the part of her dress, the detail on her dress. That was just kind of embarrassing and kind of funny. So these were fun, and I kind of have all my red flosses in there, which I might need to get some more. So those are my works in progress, and that's my story. But it's been so nice getting to share, and I hope to be able to do this again with some more completed works. Thank you for watching.